Under a scorching sun where the sand is hot enough to fry an egg, a creature strolls leisurely like the undisputed king of this arid land. The camel, nature's mystery, is perfectly programmed to survive in the harshest of conditions. But what fascinates people even more is how far the camel has come to become part of modern cuisine. Featured in some of the world's most luxurious dishes from sun-scorched barren lands, the desert gives rise to precious gifts. Camel milk, often called the white gold of the desert, is not only rich in nutrients but also holds significant economic value. Meanwhile, camel meat, packed with exceptional nutritional content, is hailed as a superfood of the desert, offering far more benefits than many conventional meats. Today, join as we cross the searing sand dunes, follow the steady footsteps of the ships of the desert, and step inside modern factories where every drop of camel milk and every cut of meat is transformed into high-end products. Can you believe it? The animal famously known as the desert warrior, deeply associated with arid lands, was actually not born in the desert. Surprisingly, its ancestors once roamed the lush highlands of North America. Over millions of years of evolution and migration, camels gradually adapted and transformed, ultimately becoming the enduring symbol of survival in some of the harshest environments on Earth. Here's a fun fact. Up to 90% of people mistakenly believe that a camel's hump stores water, but in reality, it stores fat. This fat helps camels sustain their energy during long periods without food. When the hump starts to shrink, it's a sign that the camel is running low on energy and needs nutritional replenishment. Camels are truly the ultimate desert warriors. Armed with 3 layers of eyelashes to fend off sand, powerful legs that carry them over 64 kilometers a day without tiring, ears that can detect distant sandstorms, and nostrils that filter out dust effortlessly even while they're enjoying lunch. Under the blazing sun of the desert, the tall camels are gently guided, preparing for a special journey, starting with being lifted onto a specialized truck to leave their familiar arid homeland. The story begins on sun-drenched mornings at bustling ports that lie between the harsh borders of desert and sea. One by one, cargo ships arrive, carrying very special passengers, tall, majestic camels. Soon after, these camels are carefully loaded into specialized containers, bidding farewell to the burning sand dunes behind them as they head toward a new land where cutting-edge modern factories await. These camels are transported from traditional breeding regions in the United Arab Emirates to countries like Australia and several parts of Europe, where the camel milk industry is gradually emerging as a highly promising sector, attracting growing interest and major investment from around the world. Not only does the camel have a unique body structure, it also possesses a remarkable reproductive mechanism. Unlike many other animals, female camels do not ovulate on a regular cycle. They only release eggs in response to the presence and courtship of a male. This makes fertilization more complex, often requiring human interventions such as controlled mating schedules or artificial insemination. Pregnancy lasts up to 13 months and typically results in the birth of a single calf. In harsh desert environments, if not carefully monitored, the risk of the calf suffocating in the womb is real, with an estimated occurrence of about 1 in every 100 births. Yet, despite the challenges, newborn camels are surprisingly resilient. Within just a few hours of birth, they can stand, take their first shaky steps, and begin following their mother, ready to embark on their journey of survival in the unforgiving desert. After giving birth, a mother camel becomes the white gold factory of the desert, producing precious milk that sustains the entire herd. However, milking a camel is far from simple. Camels are highly sensitive animals. They only release milk when their calf is nearby. That's why before each milking session, the young calf must be brought close to the mother to trigger her natural biological response. The person milking the camel must be gentle, patient, and attuned to the animal's emotions. Every movement must be calm and steady, as even a slight sense of stress or disrespect can cause the camel to stop producing milk immediately, rendering all efforts futile. In modern farms, this process is elevated with the support of standard livestock housing systems and automatic milking machines. The mother camels are placed in separate stalls in an orderly fashion to avoid overcrowding and reduce stress. Here, the staff gently cleans the teats with warm water and antiseptic solution, ensuring hygiene while helping the camels relax before the milking process begins. The automatic milking machine designed for camels has a special structure with soft suction tubes that mimic the natural sucking motion of a camel calf. This system operates smoothly, gently, and quietly, effectively stimulating the milk glands without causing discomfort to the mother. After milking, the milk is transferred through a closed pipe system and directly into a cooling tank to maintain its freshness and prevent bacterial growth. While camel milk is praised as the golden milk of the desert with a wide range of health benefits, many of its miraculous properties, such as curing autism and combating diabetes, remain in the realm of folklore rather than scientific evidence. Camel milk, after being quickly cooled in stainless steel tanks, is transported by specialized tanker trucks to the processing plant. Here the milk goes through a multi-layer filtration system to remove any sediment and fine impurities before undergoing a high-temperature pasteurization process for a short period. This method helps to eliminate harmful bacteria while retaining the natural flavor and valuable nutrients of the camel milk. After the milk has been pasteurized, the bottling process begins with bottle cleaning. Empty plastic bottles are fed into the production line, flipped upside down, and sprayed with hot water or a high-pressure disinfectant solution. Each bottle is thoroughly sterilized to ensure no bacteria or impurities remain that could affect the milk's quality. Next, the bottles are moved to the filling station. Here, an automated filling machine pumps milk into each bottle with high precision. Bottles are positioned under the filling heads where sensors and automated controllers ensure that each bottle is filled with the exact standard volume of milk while minimizing any leakage or contamination during the process. Immediately after filling, the bottles are sealed using an automatic capping machine which tightly secures the caps to prevent leaks. Finally, the finished bottles are transported to the plastic crate packing area. After packing, the products are moved into a temporary cold storage facility awaiting shipment to distribution centers or supermarkets. In addition to bottled milk products, a portion of the processed camel milk is directed to the cheesemaking area, a premium product line often associated with the elite and discerning gourmet. After careful pasteurization, the milk is enriched with specialized cultures and enzymes to initiate the natural coagulation process. Under ideal temperature conditions, the milk gradually thickens and forms a smooth, soft curd. Once the desired level of coagulation is reached, the curd is cut into small pieces, gently drained away, and placed into molds for shaping. The molds are then transferred to an aging room where temperature and humidity are strictly controlled to cultivate the cheese's signature texture and flavor. After an aging process that can last from several days to a few weeks, smooth ivory white wheels of camel cheese are born. More than just an exotic delicacy, they represent the rare essence of a precious raw ingredient and refined craftsmanship, a true culinary gem from the distant deserts. At modern processing plants, camel meat is handled through a closed-loop system that strictly adheres to international food safety standards. Immediately after preliminary processing, the camel carcass is suspended on an automated conveyor system, moving smoothly and precisely through each stage of the operation. The carcass then continues along the processing line to the deboning section. Here it is first split in half using a specialized cutting saw, then divided into major muscle groups such as the shoulder, thigh, and loin. The deboning process is carried out either by a high-precision mechanical blade system or by experienced technicians, ensuring the complete removal of bones, excess fat, tendons, and unwanted connective tissues. After being split in half, the two sides of the carcass are placed by skilled workers onto specialized work tables or moved along to the next conveyor belt for further breakdown. With the aid of professional cutting knives and cut-resistant gloves, they begin separating the meat based on the anatomical structure. Each movement is swift and precise, following the natural muscle lines and joint connections to maximize meat yield and ensure clean, well-shaped cuts that are easy to package. Premium cuts are separated and sent to specialized trimming or high-end packaging areas, while remaining portions such as lean trimmings or fat are collected for ground meat or processed food products. After being properly sorted and processed, the meat is transferred to the packaging area where the entire process is carried out in a cold environment to maintain freshness. Depending on the intended use, the meat may be vacuum packed, sealed in shrink-wrapped trays, or placed in sterilized plastic bags. Automated packaging machines accurately weigh each portion and wrap it with specialized leak-proof materials designed to protect the product. Once sealed, each package is labeled automatically with complete information: product name, meat type, weight, production date, expiration date, storage instructions, batch number, and a QR code for traceability. This packaging process not only preserves product quality, but also facilitates efficient storage and distribution. Portioned or ground meat products are also packaged in the same way, with predetermined weights according to standardized packaging formats, ensuring convenience for use and distribution while also meeting food safety requirements and maintaining visual appeal on store shelves. Camels today are no longer just the iconic image of herds slowly crossing vast deserts. In modern farms, they live like professional athletes with tailored nutrition plans, designated living spaces, and even daily schedules for exercise and rest. These farms are typically located in expansive semi-desert regions with well-structured layouts and perimeter fencing. This setup provides camels with the freedom to move around while allowing for efficient management. The herds are systematically divided based on age, gender, and purpose, whether for milk production, meat, or breeding. Camels' primary diet consists of dry grass, alfalfa, grains, and fiber-rich mixed feeds. They don't eat large quantities at once, but they chew thoroughly, making their meals slow and quiet. Although they are known as masters of thirst, camels in modern farms are still provided with ample clean water daily, delivered through automated drinking troughs installed throughout the grazing areas. The journey of the camel ends not merely at its final destination, but as the beginning of new stories where its value continues to unfold in unexpected and fascinating ways. Some may see bananas as sugar bombs to avoid. But for the rest of the world, bananas aren't just a handy snack found in lunchboxes and smoothies. They're natural gold that fuels a global banana industry. But how to harvest and transport hundreds of millions of tons of bananas each year to every corner of the globe? The secret journey of this humble superfruit begins in sun-drenched tropical plantations, where heavy banana bunches are carefully harvested by skilled hands. From there, they are transported through farming and collection areas using a unique and surprising method. After that, bananas are quickly pre-processed, exported around the world, or enter high-tech production lines where they're transformed into golden, crispy, sweet banana chips. Today, we peels back the layers of this global fruit icon to uncover the secrets behind one of the most powerful fruit industries on the planet. Stick around. Everything is about to unfold right here. Imagine getting lost in a vast banana plantation where lush green leaves stretch wide to catch the breeze, rustling gently under golden sunlight filtering through the canopy. Welcome to India, the undisputed giant of banana production, accounting for around 27% of the world's total output. But numbers don't tell the whole story. Ecuador wears the crown of banana exports, while the Philippines makes its mark with premium banana varieties and some of the most advanced processing lines in the region. Each year, hundreds of millions of tons of bananas are consumed globally, making it one of the most widely eaten fruits on the planet. But what makes bananas so irresistible? Beyond their sweet taste, bananas are nature's very own biological battery. Compact, affordable, and packed with energy. With high levels of potassium, 10 times more vitamin B6 than apples, and enough carbohydrates to rival an energy bar, bananas offer a quick energy boost, help stabilize blood pressure, and can even lift your mood. Here's a surprising fact. Among more than 1,000 banana varieties in the world, only one, the Cavendish, accounts for half of global production and nearly all banana exports. But yes, bananas can get sick too. That's why this dominant variety is now on the brink of extinction, threatened by a deadly fungus called Fusarium TR4, an incurable disease that's putting the entire global banana industry at risk. In this context, growing and caring for banana plantations has become more important than ever. In spring, when temperatures stay warm and steady between 26 and 30 degrees Celsius, young banana plants are carefully placed into loose, well-aerated soil, marking the start of a journey that requires patience, precision, and attentive care. After about 7 months of soaking up sun and breezes, the banana plant begins to bloom, revealing its iconic purple flower. This is when farmers step in to cover the developing bunch with a green plastic bag or a specially designed protective sheath, which stays in place until harvest. Why bag the bananas? It may seem like a simple step, but these bags act as invisible armor, shielding the fruit from pests, harsh sunlight, and strong winds. They also help retain consistent humidity, creating ideal conditions for the bananas to ripen evenly and develop that perfect yellow hue. But bagging alone isn't enough. To help the banana bunch grow plump and firm, farmers carry out another crucial step, removing the female flower. Once the bunch is formed, the purple tip, which is the flower itself, is carefully cut off. This stops the plant from wasting nutrients on unnecessary baby fruits and directs all its energy into ripening the main bunch. To sustain banana yields far beyond the days of manual farming, modern plantations now rely heavily on chemical-based care, using pesticides and fertilizers in large quantities, sometimes reaching hundreds of liters per hectare. In addition, routine disease prevention spraying is a critical step to guard against fungi and pests that can devastate an entire banana plantation in just a matter of weeks. As time goes by, the banana bunches gradually grow larger. But checking their size is no longer a matter of guesswork or intuition. Farmers now use special calipers to measure the diameter of each banana finger with precision. Only when the fruit reaches the ideal thickness with a deep green and smooth peel is it considered the perfect moment for harvest. And from that point on, a demanding yet skillful task officially begins, harvesting millions of tons of bananas. Banana harvesting is typically a two-person job carried out in perfect sync. One worker stands firmly and uses a sharp knife to make a clean cut about 20 to 25 centimeters above the last hand of bananas, ensuring the stem is long enough for easy transport and hanging later. At the same time, the other worker swiftly catches the falling bunch on their shoulder, which is padded with foam or a soft sack. Each bunch can weigh up to 50 kilograms. So without experience and proper technique, a single misstep can cause serious injury or damage the entire bunch. That's why banana harvesting has never been a light-duty task. But what happens to the mother banana plant after the bunch is cut? The truth is, the mother plant must be sacrificed. Bananas are unique. Each plant produces just one bunch in its lifetime. Once its mission is complete, it's removed to prevent pests and diseases and to make room for new shoots growing from its base. This is where the chopper comes in, a specialized machine that cuts and shreds the banana stalk on the spot. In just a few minutes, the old plant is cleared away, turning into fertile mulch that nourishes the soil and paves the way for a fresh new season. After harvest, transporting the heavy banana bunches without damage becomes the next key step. To do this efficiently while maintaining freshness, many plantations turn to the agricultural cableway system, a brilliantly simple yet powerful solution and a testament to modern farming ingenuity. Instead of hauling each massive bunch out of the plantation manually, workers simply hook them onto steel hangers suspended from an overhead cable system that runs between the rows of banana trees. Once everything is ready, the railless banana train quietly glides through the tropical forest, accompanied only by the rustle of leaves, as if the bananas themselves were enjoying the ride. Time is critical when it comes to bananas. Within just 4 hours of being cut, the bunches arrive at the packing facility to preserve peak freshness. And this is where their fate is decided. Which bananas will go on to be exported and which will stay behind to be turned into sweet, crispy banana chips? First, let's explore the export banana processing line, where every single fruit must pass through strict quality controls before reaching consumers across the globe. At the collection and pre-processing area dedicated to fresh distribution and export, banana bunches are first stripped of their protective padding and rinsed with clean water to remove surface dust. Then, each hand of bananas is separated and immediately submerged in a cold water bath with a mild chlorine solution to wash off latex and soil and to rapidly cool the fruit. This step is crucial in the preservation process for fresh bananas. The low temperature helps slow down respiration and delays premature ripening, maintaining the banana's freshness and firmness throughout the long export journey. At the same time, the sticky latex is completely removed, leaving the banana skins clean, shiny, and protected from dark blemishes caused by air exposure. After washing, the banana bunches are cut into smaller clusters and sorted by size, uniformity, and peel color. This step requires skill. A careless cut can snap the stems, reducing visual appeal and shortening shelf life. Only the most pristine clusters are selected, with bruised or damaged bananas removed, leaving behind only the top candidates for export. In some facilities, whole hands may be kept intact instead of being divided, depending on market demand. Bananas that meet export standards are labeled with traceability stickers, their stems wrapped in ventilated protective film, and neatly arranged into cushioned carton boxes. Each box is carefully sealed, marked with a lot number and packing date, then stacked onto pallets. From there, they're loaded onto specialized trucks heading straight to the port. Of course, not all bananas are exported fresh. A portion is sent to processing plants to be turned into deliciously crispy banana chips, golden, fragrant, and addictive with every bite. Unlike bananas made for export, which are gently rinsed to preserve their appearance, bananas used for chips undergo a much more thorough cleaning process. Once thoroughly washed and spotless, the bananas are moved to the peeling area. Here, skilled workers use specialized knives to swiftly and precisely remove the tough green peels, ensuring the soft flesh inside remains intact, free from scratches or cracks. Each worker can peel between 400 to 600 bananas per hour, depending on the uniformity of the fruit and their level of experience. Though it may seem simple, this step is crucial. Even a small nick can cause the banana slices to warp, fry unevenly, or burn during cooking, ultimately compromising the quality of the final product. Next, the bananas are fed into a specialized slicing machine. This high-capacity machine can process thousands of bananas per hour, producing evenly thin slices at a standard thickness of around 3 millimeters, just enough to guarantee that signature crispness while preserving the rich, starchy flavor. Thanks to sharp steel blades and a continuous cutting mechanism, the slices come out uniform in shape and size, ensuring consistent frying results with beautiful color and even texture. Immediately after slicing, the banana pieces move onto a gentle rinsing conveyor where clean water or air jets help wash away excess starch and reduce surface stickiness, minimizing clumping during frying. Now the banana slices are ready for their big transformation, traveling down the conveyor and into a hot oil bath, the moment when their golden, crispy aroma truly comes to life. Inside the industrial fryer, thousands of banana slices are dropped into hot oil, maintained at around 180 degrees Celsius, the ideal temperature for fast cooking without burning. To keep the slices from sticking together and ensure even cooking on both sides, continuous stirring is key. Workers use long-handled stainless steel mesh scoops to gently swirl the slices in circular motions. Right after frying, the banana slices are transferred onto a mesh conveyor, where cool air from industrial fans is blown upward to quickly drain excess oil and bring down the temperature. It might sound simple, but this step is absolutely critical. Not only does it remove residual oil, it also locks in the crispness, preventing the chips from turning soft or soggy during storage. Next, the crispy golden banana slices are fed into a rotating seasoning drum, a cylindrical stainless steel tumbler that spins continuously. Here, a blend of spices like salt, sugar, chili powder, cheese, or vanilla, depending on each factory's unique recipe, is poured into a hopper and evenly sprinkled onto the chips. But a giant-sized version of banana chips is just as tempting, crispy, golden, and oversized. It's a snack you can't help but stare at. To achieve that irresistible flavor and crunch, a significant amount of oil is used during frying. On average, 1 kilogram of bananas can absorb between 15 to 30 grams of oil, depending on the thickness, frying time, and banana variety. The most commonly used oils are palm oil or refined vegetable oils, chosen for their high smoke point and cost efficiency. Before entering the automatic packing line, the banana chips go through a final quality check. Only slices that meet the required standards are allowed onto the system. Smart electronic scales then weigh the chips with precision, dividing them into pouches that match the preset weight. The bags are vacuum sealed, airtight, and sent through to be packed into carton boxes. The entire process takes just a few minutes, and just like that, those fragrant, crispy banana chips are ready to head to supermarkets and land in the kitchens of millions of families. The next time you pick up a banana or open a bag of crispy banana chips, you won't just be enjoying a snack. You'll be savoring a story of soil, sweat, and ingenuity in every single bite. Instant coffee has come a long way since it was first introduced in 1890, becoming the go-to fuel for everything from morning commutes to late-night study sessions. At the forefront of this caffeinated revolution is none other than Nestlé's Nescafé, brewing up an incredible 1 billion cups every single day. It all kicks off with the dedication of over 100,000 farmers in coffee-growing powerhouses like Brazil and Vietnam, supplying more than 13 million bags of beans to Nestlé's 24 cutting-edge factories across the globe. Turning these coffee cherries into your daily brew is no small feat, but as you're about to see, it's a process that's worth every sip. Nestlé sources its premium coffee beans from the world's top coffee-growing regions, including farms in Brazil and Vietnam, known for their exceptional quality. The coffee plants first bloom as delicate, fragrant white flowers in a fleeting phase that lasts just a few days. Over the next 6 to 9 months, these flowers will mature into vibrant red cherries, signaling that the beans inside are ready. Farmers keep a keen eye on the plants, knowing the timing has to be just right. When about 95% of the cherries are red and only a few greenish ones remain on the plant, it's time to harvest. While hand-picking coffee cherries is still a tradition on some farms, it's a slow and costly process, not exactly ideal for large-scale operations. So larger farms like this one use this specialized harvesting machine. It's fast, efficient, and gets the job done without even breaking a sweat. As the machine passes over the coffee plant, 1,500 vibrating rods on rotating cylinders gently shake the branches as they pass through. Each of the rods vibrates up to 1,000 times per minute. These vibrations cause the ripe cherries to fall into fish plates below. With just 2 to 3 seconds spent on each tree, this harvesting machine allows farmers to collect up to 60 bags of cherries in about 5 hours, making quick work of what used to take days by hand. Once the ripe cherries have been harvested, the machine uses slat conveyor belts to transfer them into hoppers. These hoppers act as storage while tractors carry the cherries to the wet mill. Just 8 to 12 hours after harvest, the coffee cherries begin their transformation at the wet mill. First, they're funneled into a massive H-copper, which guides them to this gravity separator, a water tank that separates the ripe from the not-so-ready. Ripe cherries, heavier and full of flavor, sink to the bottom, while the unripe ones float to the top, ready to be discarded or used elsewhere. From there, they tumble over rotating drums lined with a rough surface. These drums gently press the cherries against fixed plates, skillfully separating the juicy pulp from the precious coffee beans inside. While the skinned cherries move on to the next stage, the discarded skins don't go to waste. They're sent off to be used elsewhere on the farm, often used as nutrient-rich compost. After depulping, the coffee beans are left with a slimy coating called mucilage. To remove it, they're transferred into these fermentation tanks, often lined with ceramic tiles, where clean mountain water works its magic. Over the next 12 to 24 hours, the water will break down the mucilage naturally. This step is all about balance, though. Farmers carefully monitor this process to ensure the beans don't over-ferment, as even a small misstep could affect their flavor. Once the fermentation softens the mucilage, the beans are ready for washing. This step begins with a simple yet precise inspection. A farmer checks the beans by hand, feeling the surface to ensure the mucilage has softened enough. Once satisfied, more fresh water is added to the fermentation tank, fully submerging the beans again. Then, armed with a long wooden tool, the farmer stirs the beans vigorously to scrub away the sticky residue. This step is important to achieving the clean parchment layer that protects the bean underneath. As the water fills with loosened mucilage, it turns murky, a clear sign that the process is working. Farmers often repeat this step, draining out the dirty water and refilling the tank until the beans are spotless. Now thoroughly washed, the coffee beans take a sunbath to dry. They're spread evenly across these flat surfaces, often on parchment or specially prepared drying beds. Sometimes, they're shaded to shield them from unpredictable weather. Throughout the day, farmers use rakes to turn the beans, ensuring they all dry evenly. The drying process takes about a week or two, depending on the weather, with the goal of reaching an ideal moisture level of about 11%. When the parchment coffee is dried to just the right amount, it continues into this hulling machine. This is where the tough parchment layer is gently stripped away, finally revealing the vibrant green coffee beans hidden inside. After hulling, the beans, now called green coffee beans, are carefully prepared for storage. Once cleaned and sorted for quality, the beans are packed into 60 kilograms jute or CLE bags, each labeled with origin and grade details for full traceability. These bags are then stored in ventilated warehouses to keep them fresh and protected from pests and moisture until they're ready to begin their journey to the Nescafé factory. Once the bags of green coffee beans reach the Nestlé factory, they are removed from the trailers using a robotic arm. This specialized arm, equipped with a spider gripper, effortlessly lifts the large bags before depositing them onto an extendable conveyor belt. The use of this robotic system prevents employees from suffering any potential back injuries that could come from lifting the heavy bags. As the bags travel along the conveyor, additional robotic arms on the machine push each bag into the correct position. From there, the bags of green coffee pass over this moisture sensor that checks their humidity. If a bag doesn't have the ideal humidity level, it's rejected and automatically separated from the rest. The ones that do pass continue along the conveyor belt. During their journey, a robotic probe randomly takes a sample of coffee beans from a bag as it passes. Next, these robotic arms automatically stack the accepted bag onto a pallet. The pallets pass over a scale to ensure they all have a consistent weight. After the bags of green coffee beans are placed on the pallets, it's time to take them over to the roasting plant. But before that, the bags are first opened so the beans can be deposited into this sifting machine. This sifter has vibrating floors that shake up the beans, and in doing so, shakes off any leftover debris. At the same time, the sifting process can shake out any small or broken coffee beans. It's a quick quality check to make sure only the best beans are ready to roast. Before the coffee beans meet the roaster, though, they must pass the ultimate test. Human tasters, armed with finely tuned taste buds, sample up to 100 brewed cups of coffee a day to ensure the batch meets exacting standards. These experts can detect even the slightest flavor variations because, in the world of coffee, one bad bean can ruin an entire cup. It's a job that requires precision, patience, and a deep love for coffee. Once the beans pass their rigorous taste tests, they move on to roasting. This is where they develop their signature aroma and flavor. The beans are fed into this industrial double-walled rotating drum, heated to temperatures between 370 and 540 degrees Fahrenheit. Inside, paddles keep the beans in constant motion, ensuring they roast evenly without scorching. Depending on the desired flavor profile, the roasting time lasts anywhere from 8 to 20 minutes. Fun fact, the roast time has a big impact on the caffeine level. Lighter roasts, which spend less time in the drum, hold on to more caffeine. In contrast, darker roasts, which are roasted longer, end up with less caffeine but deliver bolder flavors. After roasting, the beans are poured into a large cooling tray where a powerful fan blows air from underneath while sifting arms swirl the beans around. They stay here for about 5 to 10 minutes to stop the roasting process and lock in their flavor. Once the coffee beans have cooled, they are automatically deposited into an industrial-sized coffee mill that turns them into a coarse powder. This powder is then brewed into a strong liquid coffee extract using steam and pressure. From here, the liquid extract follows one of two drying methods. It's spray-dried to create Nescafé Original's classic granules, or freeze-dried to achieve the premium texture and flavor of Nescafé Gold. In the spray-drying method, the liquid coffee extract enters a massive spray dryer. Inside, the extract is atomized through a high-pressure spray nozzle, turning it into a fine mist of coffee droplets. At the same time, scorching hot air, blasting in at 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit and traveling at 400 miles per hour, instantly evaporates the moisture from the droplets. What's left are tiny solid coffee particles that settle at the bottom, forming a fine powder we know as instant coffee, ready to be dissolved in your cup. For Nescafé Gold, the process takes a more sophisticated turn with freeze drying, a method that locks in the coffee's full flavor and aroma. To begin the process, rich coffee extract from the previous step is heated until it condenses into a thick liquid concentrate resembling toffee. From here, the condensed extract is transported by conveyor belt towards its next destination. The still hot condensed extract is taken inside a 30-meter freezing hall, where it is cooled to a bone-chilling minus 58 degrees Fahrenheit, effectively locking in all the rich aromas. At the end of the 30-meter freezing hall, it resembles a long sheet of coffee ice. This ice sheet is then sent into a large machine lined with rotating blades. The blades break the frozen coffee extract into tiny coffee granules. Next, the frozen coffee granules go through a final step known as sublimation. During this step, the frozen coffee granules are deposited onto large sheets that resemble cooking trays before being taken into a low-pressure tube. While in this tube, the frozen granules are heated to a temperature of 140 degrees Fahrenheit for 5 hours. This precise temperature and low-pressure environment allow any remaining frozen moisture in the granules to transform directly into vapor, skipping the liquid phase entirely. Then, an internal vacuum whisks the vapor away, preserving the coffee's rich flavor while leaving behind perfectly dry granules. Once freeze-dried, the coffee granules are perfectly stable at room temperature, ready to be packaged and eventually brewed into your next delicious cup of coffee. At this point, the dried coffee granules are sent to the packaging area. The granules get deposited into large storage sacks and sent to a conveyor belt to fill the jars. As the jars whiz along the track, they are each filled in less than a second. Some Nescafé factories can fill as many as 320 jars a minute or more, or 250,000 jars daily. As soon as the jar is filled, it's sealed airtight to lock in freshness, guaranteeing every scoop of Nescafé is as flavorful as the day it was made. Just after they are sealed, a cap is applied over the seal. The jar then continues its journey, and a label is applied to it. At this point, the coffee jars are ready to be shipped to stores, bringing the instant coffee magic closer to your cup. As you can see, the process of turning raw coffee cherries into instant coffee enjoyed by millions is a complicated one. However, every step plays a crucial role in making sure that when your cup is poured, it's nothing short of coffee perfection. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe for more fascinating content. We'll see you next time.